So hey, welcome back to another episode of Freewheeling with me, Dr. Dave Nichol. Today, we're exploring the concept of how to have that elusive work-life balance in vet practice. You need to set expectations because you signed up to do a veterinary degree and have a life in veterinary medicine. You ought to have done your research on that. This is a vocation. This is not a 9-to-5 job. If you're going to compare what your life is going to be like to somebody who's doing an office job and you're going to compare that version of work-life balance, then something went really wrong in your research. That's not on veterinary medicine. That is on you. Veterinary medicine ain't no 9-to-5. That's part of the fun. It's part of the joy. You need to manage your expectations that yes, you're going to be working slightly longer hours, but heck, you're not having to do the same boring thing over and over and over and over and over. Be prepared for some weird shit to happen outside of work. For me, this showed up as doing consultations with clients in my sleep. Yes, I would literally sit bolt upright in my sleep having a full bore client conversation in the middle of the night with somebody who wasn't really there. That's what stress does to the mind. And my mind that I process, and that's when that stuff gets dealt with almost subconsciously. But when you keep learning, you keep growing, you get better at those skills, suddenly those things go away because you're not feeling adrenalized or stressed by them. So keep going is tip 2. As you get better at skills, your ability to manage this work-life balance definitely improves. Find a way not to take it with you. If you are super struggling with a workload in work, chances are that you're then taking it home with you and struggling mentally with the same workload when you go home, second guessing yourself. Like asking yourself, did you do the right thing? Replaying client conversations, remembering all the things you didn't do quite as well as you needed to do or you didn't get done in the day. Those thoughts will haunt you, and those thoughts are the things that really crush your work-life balance. One of the ways I have found useful to get out of that is to break the pattern of thought. And the most reliable way of doing that is through sport. So my encouragement to you is to find a way to do something that takes you away from that cyclical thought that's focused on work. And for me, that means do a sport where there is something at risk, something you have to focus on. That's not running. For me, running is easy. Running, I process a lot during running, so it's not a good way for me to switch off. A good way for me to switch off is getting on my paddleboard. What's at risk? Falling in the sea and getting freezing cold. Plus, there's the massive benefit that physical exercise bestows upon you and your mental health. Find a local network of friends outside of work, okay? You need to have space. A lot of you are going to move from home to university, and now you're going to end up in a town where maybe you don't have a lot of roots. My advice, join some clubs. Doesn't matter which clubs or whether you actually like them to start with, just go out and try a few clubs. Usually you can show up for a session at a local club and it's completely free of charge on your first go. So just go along, see if you like the vibe of that tribe and start to make some friends. Friends allow you to share problems. Friends meet your need for social connection. Friends help you to feel significant. Friends invite you to go do things at weekends. Friends want to meet you after work for a drink. Friends give you a reason to have that work life and help you to switch off of the work thing and switch into the life thing. And the final tip is all about time management, because the way to have more time away from work is to manage your time effectively in work. So here's a little homework for you. If you've not watched episode 85 of Freewheeling, go back now and watch where I share 5 tips to help you get out of work on time much more often. There you go, guys. 5 tips to have a somewhat improved work-life balance. I hope they're useful for you. What do you do to have a work-life balance? Please leave some messages in the comments or hit us up. And don't forget, send your video questions in for me to answer. And you also could be on the Freewheeling show. Until next time, from me, be safe, be well, and be happy.